Hey guys, sorry, I was having some technical difficulty, but if you're watching this, I wanted to make a video for my newest coaches and coaches who are coming into our organization, because sometimes people come into the organization and they don't make a phone call with me and they don't follow up and they sometimes get lost, and we want to make sure that you are not lost when you sign on to be coach, because you want to be a successful coach. And so part of that is connecting with your coach and finding out some information. So the first thing you should have received a welcome email from your sponsoring coach. I personally do a welcome email, and then I do a kind of letter that explains to people the different kinds of coaches they can be. They can be a discount coach, somebody who purely just wants to, work on themselves and get the discount. There is something we call a hobby coach, which, if you sell to some people or some people want to join you, it's really, you're glad, but you're really not looking to make this business. And then there's those who are truly working coach. They have specific goals. They have specific income goals that they want to hit. And perhaps they even want to make this a full-time career like I have and other coaches have. And so it kind of walks them through that. I also have created a coaching guidebook that we put together of some important stuff in there. I would definitely take a look at it, because a lot of the stuff right now might look all jumbled, but as you start to work this business, you're going to start to figure out, like, oh, that's what she means. And then what I did was I created like a little video series, and I put it in a document, and all the videos are on YouTube, so they're there for you to watch at your pleasure. And I took some topics that I want my new coaches to really know in starting their business. And so please watch those videos in those documents. So I want to first take the time to say welcome. I know for some of you there was a little trepidation in making the decision to be a coach, and then for some of you it's kind of like, yes, this is totally what I want to do. So wherever you are on that continuum, it's completely okay, but I can promise you I've never really had anybody tell me, wow, that was the worst decision I've ever made. Most people tell me, regardless if they are extremely successful or not, that the supportive culture that they are put in as a coach is life-changing. And so hopefully you will feel the same. I want you to tell you to don't be nervous. Sometimes as coaches, we kind of like want to jump all in, and we want to do this and we want to do that, and we kind of get overwhelmed. And I don't know about you, but as ladies, sometimes when we get that overwhelmed feeling, sometimes we back away and we don't do anything. So I really don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I want you to focus on these things that I'm going to tell you. So the first thing is, I want you to set up your Beachbody account. And so in the documents, there'll be a little walkthrough of how you do that. Your Beachbody account is actually already created for you. It's www.beachbodycoach.com/ whatever your username is. So for my first business center, it's Chick Fit Kim. And so if I wanted to tell people my website, that's exactly what it would be. So I tell people to set that up because there's a place when you go into your online office where you can edit you can put your picture in there, you can put your before and afters and all kinds of stuff. So I tell people to do that because oftentimes they will have people want to buy something from them before they're ready, and they get this deer in headlights, like, oh my goodness, what do I do? What do I do? So set that up so you have it done. The next thing I will say is get comfortable with the mobile application. And so what's a mobile application? It's actually not an app. It is a website that was created by Beachbody. And what it does is it essentially allows you to pre-order for your customer or coach. And basically you put your email in, you put your password in, and then you put your customer's email in, and then you get to choose whatever they want, whether it be a challenge pack, whether it be a program. You can even put them in there as a free customer, and it'll allow you to do that. It'll say skip purchase. And I've actually created a video that walks you through this so that you can be more comfortable with it. We, 99% of us, find that using the mobile application is an easy way for people, because our website sometimes isn't the easiest to manage. In telling people multiple steps, sometimes they don't, they get lost. And so this allows them that email to come to their system, and it allows them to order, just put their information in, and you can sign them up as a coach or as a customer that way. The next thing I want you to do is I would like you to tell people that you're a coach. And now, if you're not ready for that, it's okay. But you should be telling people that you are committed to doing a program. Because if you're not ready to tell people you're a coach, you really should let people know on social media and people around you that you're committed. Maybe it's the 21-day fix. Maybe it's hammer and chisel now that just came out. Let people know that. If there's anything people love, it's that people love to watch people do new things. And if they can, vicariously live through you, you're going to find that by the time you get into your journey, by the time you get to day 21 or month 1, people are going to say, hey, I want to join you. Actually, I've had people tell me that they want to join me from the moment I actually tell people that, because people like to do things together. And so I will tell you to commit to your program. Hopefully when you joined on to be a coach, you purchased a program and Shakeology. Those two pieces are extremely critical to being a consistent coach and to walking the walk. Nobody wants to sign up with a coach who's not walking the walk. And so I will tell you to do that. The next thing is, if you are telling people you're a coach, explain to people why you became a coach. Explain to them your story. Now, do you have to tell your story so it's like 5 paragraphs long? No. You really want to do something what we call is breadcrumbing, which is kind of little by little each day sharing who you are and your story so that people start to connect with you. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to join a challenge group. Now, it can either be my challenge group or maybe your coach's challenge group, but I think it's really critical that you join a challenge group so that you know what it's like. Many of my most successful coaches are coaches who have actually come out of the challenge group dynamic. And the reason is because it's kind of where people find that special thing. Challenge groups are really special. They're an online closed Facebook group where people actually start to bond with other people. They start to feel like they're not alone. They start to get more accountability. And so it's really important as you become a Beachbody coach that you sign on to a group with your coach or your upline sponsor. The next thing I will tell you is take a look at that video guide that I put together. I think it's really critical. You're going to hear terms like Success Club and Emerald Rank and things like that. And usually when you hear words that are said over and over again, it's because they're important. And so I go over those words and things that you should know to build a solid business and make you feel a little more comfortable. The next thing I would do is sign up for a Coach Basics program. We run them once a month in the Fitspire Empire. And so they're 14 days. It's in a closed Facebook group. And each day you're going to be learning a little aspect of how to run your Beachbody business. And it's really important. But here's the coolest thing. Do you know you can actually do your own Coach Basics? When you sign in to your online office, you're going to sign in, you're going to hit Coach Online Office, and you can hit training. And there are trainings there, whether you're a new coach, whether you are an Emerald coach, whether you are a Diamond coach, it's all leveled out for you. And so if you're somebody who likes to learn on their own, you can do that. I know myself, I spent a lot of time learning the system, learning everything I could about what was in that back office. Now, let me warn you, there is never going to be time when you know everything. And so please don't wait or don't think that you need to wait to start your business until you know everything, because it's just never going to happen. And, being that we're lifelong learners, It's just going to be things that we learn. The next thing I will tell you is a lot of people tell me, like, I need to do a Facebook page. I tell them, wait, because I really think I want you to think about who you are. I want you to think about who you're trying to attract, what you're trying to do. I know for me, I'm not, excuse me, I'm not going to be attracting the same kind of people as Brittany Ligeti. Brittany Ligeti is 26 years old. I'm 44. We kind of are not going to be speaking to the same people. And if we are speaking to the same people, we're probably not speaking to anybody. It sounds really strange, but the more vague you are about things, the less people hear your message and connect with you. So I tell people to hold off on their Facebook page because there's some information I'd like them to look at as to what makes a good Facebook page, how they should be starting it. A lot of times people think they need some crafty name for a Facebook page, when in reality it should just be your name because that's who people are connecting with. The next thing is your Facebook profile should be a pretty nice picture of you. I know that you have beautiful dogs and you have beautiful children, and that's amazing. But the picture is really essentially your business card, and it should be your picture. It should be smiling. You should look happy, right? Nobody wants to sign up with somebody who looks unhappy. So make sure that you have a really nice Facebook profile page, because that little thumbnail that people see all over Facebook is going to be your calling card. You know, have you ever seen a friend request come through and you can't even tell that person's name and you don't even know who they are and you can't even see their face? Are you going to be likely to accept that kind of friend profile or anything like that? Absolutely not. And people are not going to be doing business with you and sending you $140 through the internet if they don't get a good feeling from you. So that's the first thing I would do. The next thing I would do, so there's two things that you're going to be doing, actually three things. You're going to be doing your program and drinking your shake. That's really important. The consistency that comes out of your business when you do those two things is quite amazing. The next thing you're going to be doing is you are going to be doing personal development. Now, most people are like, personal development, that's for people who feel bad for themselves. Oh, no, no, no. What most people don't realize is that extremely, extremely successful people, and we're talking about the top 5%, engage in self-development and working on themselves every day. And they don't just do it for a little bit. They do a considerable amount of their day surrounded to it in making themselves better. Why? Because life is going to happen to you. You might start this business and something might happen. Maybe your husband loses their job. Maybe a child gets sick, God forbid, or whatever happened. Life is always, always happening to you. I've been on earth 44 years, and there's never been a time in my life when things were like, wow, things are so boring. Nothing's going wrong, right? So self-development is actually going to help you be able to control yourself. It's going to be able to help you reflect. It's going to be able to help you be proactive. Some of the easier books that I tell people to jump on is The Compound Effect. GoPro is another one, and The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, because it really truly is those small things that you're going to be doing in your business and in life that are going to be helping you find success. The next thing you're going to be doing is you are going to be adding new people to your connection, your list of connections. Now, the first people obviously that come to mind are friends and family and things like that, but guess what? Those people were not the people that joined me. I don't know what that says about me. I don't know. But I just want you to know that that's a possibility, that the people who surround you, the people who are your family, might not be the first people that jump on. And it shouldn't dissuade you from thinking that this is a good idea, because sometimes family is just weird. I mean, I have best friends and I have close friends that have only recently in the last 6 months joined me. Who knows? So you really want to be expanding your network. And we have something called a memory jogger that you can use. And just think of all the circles. I always tell people to write circles. What are some things you do? Do you belong to a PTA? Do you belong to a political group? Do you belong to a runner's group? Where are all the places that you worked? Where did you go to school? Where did you go to high school? Where did you go to college possibly? Where did your husband work? Do you see where I'm getting? There are so many people out there. And I think oftentimes that people limit themselves because they think, oh, I don't have this big group. I started off my Facebook with like 200 friends. I started off my Facebook page with 60 people. And those 60 people, I think, somehow are connected to me by family. And so don't let that dissuade you from expanding your connections. What I tell people is I often expand my connections just by being me, just by doing my job. If I'm charging something at Target or going, I make sure that I talk to the checker. I make sure I start conversations with people. Now, for those of you who are shy, this is going to be a really cool thing for you to do. And don't worry about outcomes. It's not that you're looking for people to become your customers. You are just simply trying to make connections. Okay? So the next thing you want to do is expanding your connections. And what we say is try to add 1 to 3 new people a day to your connections, your connection list. The next thing you should be doing is those existing people, those people who you know, those people who, are your Facebook friends. You should be making connections with them. How do you make connections with them? By posting on Facebook. And we don't want you to suddenly be fitness and nutrition 24/7 because who wants that? You're not a revolving commercial. You are you. And it's really important that you remember that you need to be authentic. And so if you have kids, talk about your kids. If you have another job, talk about your job. If there's a hobby you like, talk about your hobby. I know for me, sometimes I get connections with people just from like talking about my makeup and hair and things like that. So don't think that you constantly need to be talking about fitness, because in fact, what we say is one of your posts a day should be kind of Beachbody, whereas the rest of them needs to be about you. Because essentially, when people decide to sign up, people decide to say, okay, I'm ready, they're doing it because they see something in you. And what they have seen in you is usually something that is not fitness related. Most people are signing up with people because they see in that person that they can be successful. It's one thing to be successful yourself. It's another thing to insinuate to other people that, yes, they can be successful too. And it's really important. And that's why we need to be real, right? Because if we're telling people that we're perfect and we don't eat Oreos and we don't have problems, who's going to sign up for that? Because you're just basically a perfect person and I'm not, and that's not going to work for me. Whereas the more authentic you can be with people, the better off you're going to be. So hopefully that helps you get started. Again, don't get overwhelmed. It's okay. You made a great decision today. Take the time to pat yourself on the back and let's get rocking.